Greetings. Good morning. My name is Jean McClurkin, and I will be your worship associate this morning. I wanted to let everybody know there will be no discussion after the service. This is our annual poetry service, so we're going to have lots of great poems today. In that spirit, I wanted to start with one of my favorite welcoming and gathering poems called Brave Space by Mickey Scott Bay Jones. Together, we will create brave space because there's no such thing as safe space. We exist in the real world. We all carry scars, and we have all caused wounds. In this space, we seek to turn down the volume of the outside world. We amplify voices that fight to be heard elsewhere. We call each other to more truth and love. We have the right to start somewhere and continue to grow. We all have the responsibility to examine what we think we know. We will not be perfect. This space will not be perfect, but it will be our brave space together, and we will work on it side by side. Thank you. Now I invite our friends in the sanctuary to turn and greet one another. And turn and greet one another. Welcome to the camera. Welcome to the camera. We will not be perfect. This space will not be perfect. Welcome to the camera. Now, please greet one another in the spirit of welcome.
Can we turn on the mic? Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me now? Yeah, good. So for our opening words, I'm Martin Newhouse, I'm leading the service. For our opening words, I've chosen a poem by Rainer Maria Rilke, who was a Austrian-German poet at the turn of the 20th century. And it's called Let This Darkness Be a Bell Tower. And I hope you can all hear over the fan. Listen, quiet friend who has come so far. Feel how your breathing makes more space around you. Let this darkness be a bell tower and you the bell. As you ring, what batters you becomes your strength. Move back and forth into the change. What is it like, such intensity of pain? If the drink is bitter, turn yourself to wine. In this uncontainable night, be the mystery at the crossroads of your senses, the meaning discovered there. And if the world has ceased to hear you, say to the silent earth, I flow. To the rushing water speak, I am.
Now invite Olson Scott McClurkin to come up and light our chalice. Fingers crossed. And I'm also going to read a poem here. It is I Who Must Begin by Václav Havel. It is I who must begin. Once I begin, once I try, here and now, right where I am, not excusing myself by saying things would be easier elsewhere, without grand speeches, ostentatious gestures, but all the more persistently to live in harmony with the voice of being, as I understand it within myself. Thank you, Olson. I suddenly discover, to my surprise, that I am neither the only one nor the first, nor the most important one to have set out upon that road. Whether all is really lost or not depends entirely on whether I am lost or not. Thank you. We will now rise in body or spirit to sing hymn number 69 in the gray hymnal, Give Thanks.
Good morning. I now invite our youngest forward for a little first reflection. You want to come on down? Hey. All right. So this is the poetry service, right? And did you guys know that everyone can be a poet, including each and every one of you? And we're going to prove that today because we are going to make a poem together. All right? Have any of you done Mad Libs before? Yeah, so you kind of know how this goes. So we're going to use pieces of a poem by Tresha Faye Hefner, the poem titled #Best Life. And we're going to create our own #Best Life poem together. Okay? So we have to fill this out first together, okay? We're gonna need help from everyone down here and also out there. First, we're gonna need a plural noun. You guys know what a noun is? Yeah. Yes, exactly. Do you have a good plural one? Chickens, that's a great one. All right. Now we need another noun. I think you had a noun before. Do you want to give it a shot for this one? But not plural this time? Monkey. All right. That's a good one for this. And now we need a favorite place to go in the summer. Does anyone have a favorite spot? Yeah, Olson. Okay. Hawaii and Iowa. Let's go for Hawaii. I think that's going to work a little better with the monkey. Actually, I don't know. Do they have monkeys in Hawaii? I have no idea. Yeah, that makes sense, right? It seems like they would have monkeys there. All right, so now we need a verb ending in ing. It's like an action thing that ends in ing. You got one? What is it? So, do you have a verb? Like an action? Oh, actually, Donna, do you want to give us a jumping? All right. That is a good one. Now we need a country you want to visit. Ooh, your hand went right up. China, that's a cool one. Okay. Now, just a few more here. Do we have a favorite musician or band? All right. The Beatles, that's a good one. All right. Now we need an animal that you love. Do we have anyone who hasn't shared? Anyone out there? Or we've got... All right, Olsen. Olsen, what's an animal that you love? Octopi. All right, let's go for octopus. Actually, let's add 2 animals. Yeah, what's another animal that you love? Ants? Let's do ants. All right, now last one here. An animal that you dislike. All right, Milo. Jellyfish. You dislike jellyfish? We just saw those cool jellyfish in the aquarium like 3 weeks ago. All right. All right, so are we ready for this poem that everyone here helped create? All right, #bestlife. Go ahead, quit your job, or stay. Shuffle chickens in a cubicle, or hang a monkey next to Hawaii. Wherever you go, darkness will follow, and so will light. You can be miserable jumping under a waterfall in China, or go into ecstasy when someone plays the Beatles next to the copy machine. You beautiful octopus and ants. You dumb jellyfish. Stop flipping the channel. It doesn't matter what you sing about. Just open your mouth wherever you are and sing. Exactly. And with that, we are now all going to sing our children out as we do each week. The words should be in the orders of service. Thank you.
We now come to the part of our service where those who wish to do so may share a joy or a sorrow or a concern with the congregation. And we very much love this part of the service because it gives people a chance to say something personal. So, who would like? And please identify yourself when you do it. Please come up to the front and identify yourself.
Hi, my name is Victoria Ippolito, and I have a joy to share. My family has been separated from each other for the past 2 weeks, but Milo is back from UMass Amherst, where he had an awesome time at his pre-college program. And Emily is back from her day camp in Wellesley. And Jason and I continue to kick around at home, but we're so excited to have them home. And we're going to go see a show at the ART today, Two Strangers Carry a Cake Across New York. So that's our fun celebration. That's my joy.
And I should say, if you need a candle brought to you, please raise your hand and we will do that.
Hi, I'm Sheila Rudolph Correa, and I hope this is a joy. We just made an offer, and it was accepted on a condo in JP for our kids to live in while they're in college. Yeah, so it's really nice. I'm very excited, and fingers crossed, everything goes great.
Hi, I'm Milo Ippolito, Victoria Ippolito's son. I have a sorrow to share. I'm back with my family. Okay, but for real, I really would love to share the joy that I'm back with my family again, back in my own house, not having to share a dorm. The shower situation, man, it was rough. But I'm really glad that I got all the opportunities to go to General Assembly this year in Baltimore, Maryland with Sam Wilson. And I got the opportunity to do a college-level course at UMass Amherst, which I think is also really cool. Yeah. Overall, things are just looking up.
Hi, I'm Devin McClurkin, and I wanted to share a joy that our family has welcomed a furry friend into our family. We have been without a pet since we moved to the Boston area, but we just adopted a 65-pound golden blackmouth cur mix from Arkansas through Last Hope Canine, and we're very excited. He's been wonderful with Olson and just a joy. So.
Is there anybody else who'd like to light a candle or tell us about a joy or sorrow or concern? If there's nobody else, then I will light a candle for all the joys and concerns and sorrows that all those of us who have not spoken may have in our hearts today. And now, as is in the order of service, we'll have some silence, and then we'll stay seated for the next hymn, which is also a poem. It's hymn number 64, "Oh Give Us Pleasure in the Flowers Today" by Robert Frost. So now we come to the part of our service where people have written to me and indicated certain poems that they would like to read, and I'm going to welcome people up in order. And then it's up to you when you come up whether you want to use the handheld mic, read your poem from the lectern, or from the pulpit. So you all have that option. And the first poem is going to be from our own Emily Ippolito, who's going to read one of her poems she has written. Emily, you want to come up? Absolutely.
Hello. So this is a poem that I wrote. What? I am putting my mouth closer to it, Mom. Okay, so this is a poem that I wrote for Pride Month at my school because we all had to write something for it or draw something, and I wrote something. So it is called Different. Being different is normal, but we are made to think it's not, to conform, not stand out. People notice difference, and people are scared of it. Scared of the unconfirmed, scared of what they don't know. But they need to know, so then they won't be scared. Then they can be different too. Maybe they will learn to accept, maybe they will learn to be kinder. Difference is something to embrace, not be dismissed or pushed away. Difference is what changes the world, making a different world from today. And that is my poem.
Thank you, Emily. Jack McCreelis would like to read a poem to us.
This is one of my favorite poems of all time. It's The Darkling Thrush by Thomas Hardy. And it was written at the end of the 19th century, sort of looking forward and looking backward as well. That's what the Century's Corpse Out Lent in the second verse is. He's looking back. Okay. I leant upon a coppice gate when frost was spectre gray, and winter's dregs made desolate the weakening eye of day. The tangled vine stems scored the sky like strings of broken lyres, and all mankind that haunted nigh had sought their household fires. The land's sharp features seemed to be the century's corpse outlent. His crypt, the cloudy canopy, the wind, his death lament. The ancient pulse of germ and birth was shrunken hard and dry, and every spirit upon earth seemed fervorless as I. At once a voice arose among the bleak twigs overhead in a full-hearted evensong of joy illimited. An aged thrush, frail, gaunt, and small, in blast-beruffled plume, had chosen thus to fling his soul upon the growing gloom. So little cause for carolings of such ecstatic sound was written on terrestrial things afar or nigh around, that I could but think there trembled through his happy goodnight air some blessed hope whereof he knew, and I was unaware.
Thank you very much, Jack. I'm sorry that I didn't turn the fan off first. Everybody could hear it, though, right? Yeah, good. Okay, thank you. And now Lee Barton. You're next on the list, Lee.
This is entitled One Art by Elizabeth Bishop. The art of losing isn't hard to master. So many things seemed filled with the intent to be lost that their loss is no disaster. Lose something every day, except the fluster of lost door keys, the hour badly spent. The art of losing isn't hard to master. Then practice losing farther, losing faster, places and names, and where it was you meant to travel. None of these will bring disaster. I lost my mother's watch, and look, my last or next to last of 3 loved houses went. The art of losing isn't hard to master. I lost 2 cities, lovely ones, and vaster, some realms I owned, 2 rivers, a continent. I miss them, but it wasn't a disaster, even losing you, the joking voice, a gesture I love. I shan't have lied. It's evident the art of losing's not too hard to master, though it may look like, say it, like disaster.
Thank you, Lee. John Grebe, you have a poem you wanted to read.
This poet earned a PhD in English literature with a dissertation about John Donne, famous English poet. But he's not a white man, and he did not grow up speaking English. As a professor, he taught Shakespeare to foreign language students. He co-founded a project to pair authors with mentors in other countries to learn to write stories in English. He was a father of 6. His daughter was later killed along with her husband and their 3-month-old, who was born soon after this poet died. He died at age 44. He was among at least 95 university professors who were killed. And after he died, readers from other nations translated this poem into over 70 languages. It's brief. If I must die, you must live. To tell my story, to sell my things, to buy a piece of cloth and some strings, make it white with a long tail, so that a child somewhere in Gaza, while looking heaven in the eye, awaiting his dad who left in a blaze and bid no one farewell, not even to his own flesh, not even to himself, sees the kite, my kite you made, flying up above, and thinks for a moment an angel is there, bringing back love. If I must die, let it bring hope. Let it be a tale. Thank you.
Thank you. And now Betsy Bowles would like to read a poem. I have to let the screen down first.
This is for you. There was a beloved member of our congregation when I first came to this church. Her name was Karen Barton, and she taught several of us had to do a rummage. So this is called Remembering Karen Barton.
She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She's got a ticket to ride. She don't care.
The silver is brought out from its blue velvet bags. Perhaps Karen had put them away. Beloved, solid pieces of silver given to our congregation. And she was given to our congregation for a short while. The boombox plays She's Got a Ticket to Ride. It's Saturday morning. Some women sing along, gathered in the church kitchen around the large table, as we've done before, but with her here. We set up familiar tables, our same wooden tables. We polish the silver and carefully cut squares of bread. We make precise triangle sandwiches, but she don't care. Will people eat more egg salad than chicken salad? Will they choose hot coffee, or will they choose cold cranberry punch? Should we use the new round glass platters, or should we use the old oval platters? She don't care. We discuss gender equity. We discuss family vacations, our next service trip to New Orleans, dealing with the death of our parents, but she's not here to speak. She left the silver, the sandwiches, the trivia for a time we cannot fathom, and things we wish for and can only imagine. And she was given to us, but such a short time while here. She's got a ticket to ride, and she don't care.
So I believe, Donna Reed, you have a poem for us?
Hi, I'm Donna Reed, and this is from a book called Evidence, Poems by Mary Oliver. And I had a birthday recently. Raim gave me a hummingbird feeder, and he found this poem in the book, which he really loved. It's called Empty Branch in the Orchard. To have loved is everything. I loved once a hummingbird who came every afternoon, the freedom-loving male who flew by himself to sample the sweets of the garden, to sit on a high, leafless branch with his red throat gleaming. And then he came no more. And I'm still waiting for him 10 years later to come back. And he will, or he will not. There is a certain commitment that each of us is given that has to do with another world, if there is one. I remember you, hummingbird. I think of you every day, even as I am still here, soaked in color, waiting, year after honey-rich year. And we have a male hummingbird who's been coming many times a day to our bird feeder. It's really lovely. Thanks.
Thank you. And then Lily, you had a poem you wanted to read. And then after you, Raim, do you want to read a poem also? Okay.
My name is Lilia Cuervo, and I wrote this poem, or came to me, exactly 10 months after son died. I remember you in the ordinary. Some say they see their beloved in the moon, the trees, the ocean. But I see you in the menial, the ordinary, in those indispensable familiar objects life's silent witnesses and companions, your ubiquitous photographs, your worn-out books, your favorite cardigan, now mine, the bed half empty. Some say they miss their beloved going to the opera, to an African safari, dancing the tango in Paris. But I meet you in the kitchen, where with hugs, cooking and laughter, you, my sous chef, taster and lover, provide delicious nourishment to my body, heart, and soul.
Thank you. And now, Raim, you wanted to read a poem?
It's something going deaf, so forgive me, but when words get mixed up, it can be fun, as Sam demonstrated earlier. The Owl and the Pussycat by Edward Lear. The owl and the pussycat went to sea in a beautiful pea-green boat. They took some honey and plenty of money, wrapped up in a 5-pound note. The owl looked up to the stars above and sang to a small guitar, "Oh, lovely pussy, oh, pussy, my love, what a beautiful pussy you are, what a beautiful pussy you are." Pussy said to the owl, "You elegant fowl, how charmingly sweet you sing. Let us be married, too long we have tarried, and what shall we do for a ring?" They sailed away for a year and a day to the land where the piggy stood, with a ring at the end of his nose with a ring at the end of his nose. "Dear pig, are you willing to sell for 1 shilling your ring?" said the piggy. "I will." So they took it away and were married next day by the turkey who lives on the hill. They dined on mince and slices of quince, which they ate with a muncible spoon, and hand in hand on the edge of the sand they danced by the light of the moon, they danced by the light of the moon.
Is there anybody else who would like to offer a poem? Do you want, you want to come up? Okay, great. And then I'll turn the fan back on.
I'd like to follow with another pig poem, if I may. Such a wonderful coincidence. It's by Galway Connell, a poet, contemporary, and it's called St. Francis and the Sow. The bud stands for all things, even those things that don't flower. For everything flowers from within of self-blessing. Though sometimes it is necessary to reteach a thing its loveliness, to put a hand on its brow of the flower and retell it in words and in touch. It is lovely until it flowers again from within of self-blessing. As St. Francis put his hand on the creased forehead of the sow and told her in words and in touch blessings of the earth on the sow, and the sow began remembering all down her thick length, from the earthen snout, all the way through the fodder and the slops to the spiritual curl of the tail. From the hard spininess spiked out from the spine, down through the great broken heart, to the sheer blue milken dreaminess, spurting and shuddering from the 14 teats into the 14 mouths, sucking and blowing beneath them. The long, perfect loveliness of Sow. Thank you.
Thank you. So unfortunately, we're out of time for the readings of poems, and we're coming to the part of our service which is the offertory, and here is my great failure. I failed to secure 2 volunteers to take the offering. May I have 2? 1, 2, great, okay. Now I have 3, that's wonderful. And so I will now, out of gratitude, I will plug the fan in again.
Words, right? Words. People say words have power. I'd like to offer that today, receiving words, being open to them, listening to them, interpreting them, that has power. That gives us something. With that, when we contribute to the offering, we get to receive, we get to give. We are making a practical investment in the ongoing thriving of a faith community. The Winchester Unitarian Society cannot pay the electric bill on words, or our staff, or run our live stream technology without financial support. Yet when we give to the Unitarian Society, we are also making a public affirmation of our shared values. In the language of community organizing, our money, whether it's everyday cash, a check, or electronic data shifting from bank accounts, this is our congealed commitment. This is commitment to this congregation, to who we are, to poetry offered and received. We are ever seeking to become. The details for giving can be found in your order of service. Those attending by live stream will get information about how to give. If you're visiting us for the first time, either in person or online, you are our guest, and the most valuable thing you can offer is your contact information, so we can stay connected beyond this Sunday. The offering will now be generously given and gratefully received. Thank you. Those who wish to do so are invited to join in the unison affirmation printed in your order of service. We gather not for ourselves alone, but to use our common power to build the beloved community within and beyond these walls. We create and reaffirm this covenant this day to make justice flourish, to practice compassion amidst difference, and to embody transformative love. Let us now rise in body or spirit for our closing hymn, number 309 in the Gray Hymnal, Earth is Our Homeland.
Please be seated. I want to thank all of you for being here, and in particular, I want to thank all those who offered poems to us to listen to and enjoy and feel. The centering thought today was that famous quote from Shelley's Defense of Poetry, which is, "Poets are the unacknowledged legislators of the world." And I believe what he meant by that was that poets feel and understand movements in culture, in society, in the world that the rest of us are unaware of, and they tell us about them in their poems. And so it's very important to read poetry, to understand where we are and what's coming. And on that note, the benediction is also a poem, It's called Beannacht, which is a Gaelic word, by John O'Donoghue, who was a wonderful Irish poet. On the day when the weight deadens on your shoulders and you stumble, may the clay dance to balance you. And when your eyes freeze behind the gray window and the ghost of loss gets into you, may a flock of colors, indigo, red, green, and azure blue, come to awaken in you a meadow of delight. When the canvas frays in the current of thought and a stain of ocean blackens beneath you, may there come across the waters a path of yellow moonlight to bring you safely home. May the nourishment of the earth be yours. May the clarity of light be yours. May the fluency of the ocean be yours. May the protection of the ancestors be yours. And so may a slow wind work these words of love around you, an invisible cloak to mind your life.
Now, please join me in reciting the words for extinguishing our chalice. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. Thank you. The service has ended, but our life of service continues. Please join us for coffee conversation in the Sims room. But again, reminder, there will be no discussion formally following the service, but please enjoy time with each other. Thank you. Bye.